Hello, this is Aimee Jones, the Director of Communications for the Real Chamber of Commerce. Today, I have the pleasure to interview a lifelong conservative, former naval officer, and veteran lawyer who has lived here in Las Vegas for over 50 years. He served as Deputy District Attorney and for over 2 decades has run his own criminal defense firm with his wife, Christina. Craig Mueller. Hey, Craig, how you doing?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good. So let me ask you a question. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what you're about.
Certainly. I grew up in Las Vegas. Those of us who've been here for a long time may remember when Eastern used to be called 25th Street. I went to Sunrise Acres Elementary School, played in Crawdad Creek, which is now dry behind the school. Went to Roy Martin Middle School, which is just a block or two away, and then got a zone variance, went to El Dorado High School.
Sure.
I played high school football and was fortunate enough to be appointed by Senator Laxalt to the United States Naval Academy.
Wow.
I served 7 years on active duty, including a tour in the Persian Gulf. I came back and went to law school at night in Washington, and then I returned to Las Vegas in 1992, where I worked for Beckley Singleton for a year, and then went to the Clark County District Attorney's Office for 4 years.
Wow.
Went back on active duty for a year in 97 and came back and opened my law practice in 98, and I have had the same practice for about the last 20 years now.
Okay, and what is the name of your law firm?
The law firm is Mueller, Hines & Associates. We are at 600 South 8th Street.
Okay, perfect. And what kind of law are you practicing there?
We do a fair bit of courtroom work. That includes a lot of criminal law. We also do a lot of commercial litigation for your business
Sure.
clients. We also have done a fair bit of personal injury work. That is people injured in accidents and trying to get the insurance company to write a fair check.
Sure. So what are some of the benefits that come with using your law firm? I mean, obviously you've been practicing it for many years, so do you have any other perks or benefits that come from it?
Well, the trick to being an effective law firm is the ability to go into court and effectively present a case and win.
Sure.
And in the modern era, everyone's trying to cut costs. A lot of times, very good lawyers or people who could potentially be good lawyers don't get enough courtroom experience to go in and actually try a case. I've been fortunate enough because where I was when the city population exploded, I've done about 150 jury trials. And
wow.
Without any false modesty, I've been fortunate enough to try almost every type of case. I was just over in federal court a couple days ago, and actually during the campaign, actually did a hearing in front of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which we were fortunate enough to win.
Okay, well that's awesome. Congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you.
And we'll get into the campaign stuff in a little bit here, but I wanted to ask you another question. So I know you've been doing criminal law, and you had mentioned before to me about doing civil litigation. Is that something that you're doing more of these days, or would?
The reality is, yes, we've always done a fair bit of civil litigation, but the reality is nobody puts you on the front page of a newspaper for getting, 25% more than normal on a car wreck. So,
sure.
On the other hand, if you're representing a guy or a police officer who's been wrongfully accused of a crime, that tends to get a lot of attention. So everyone knows me as a criminal defense lawyer, which is true, but the reality is I've done a lot of commercial litigation and personal injury work over the years as well. It just doesn't get as much attention.
Okay, good. Well, it sounds like you've been very successful in your business.
I've been very fortunate. I've been right place at the right time.
Yeah. So I know that you ran for Attorney General this last primary election cycle. What got you involved in politics? What inspired you to do that?
Well, I came to my love of the law and love of politics through history.
Sure.
I read a lot of history, and it made me very interested in public policy, because hindsight is 20/20. So everyone writes a history book, and you read the book and you say, well, if only those knuckleheads did this,
Sure.
things would have worked out differently. So then the trick is to look forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a little more frustrated because you're like, wait a minute, you guys are doing the same things that these guys failed trying to do.
Sure.
So I spent some time, I reread the Nevada Constitution, the Federal Constitution, the Federalist Papers, the Anti-Federalist Papers, and it occurs to me that, there's a lot of room for improvement in the way we govern ourselves, both at the state and the federal level. And so I tried to make a difference. And hopefully my efforts have made some small difference.
Sure. Well, I know we definitely supported you. And
oh, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So are you planning on staying within politics, or are you just going to focus on your business now, or what do you think?
Well, I've been out of the office off and on now for the last 3 or 4 months, and my wife, who's been remarkably indulgent, is a little unenthusiastic about me getting back involved in politics anytime soon. So I've got to get the office working. Well, it's working. It works fine. But
Sure.
I mean, I got to concentrate on the office. We've got about 15, maybe 17 jury trials set here in the next 4 or 5 months. So it's going to be busy time.
Well, let me ask you this, just from my own personal experience. I know some other attorneys that have served in the legislature, and they're registered Republicans, but definitely their voting records would speak otherwise. So I want to ask you, are you a fiscal conservative? Are you for businesses?
Oh, absolutely.
What is your stance on that?
There's two types of government. There is bad government, and then there is limited government. And
Sure.
without a doubt, I'm a limited government individual. My politics tends a little bit more towards libertarianism.
Sure.
I don't particularly care for taxes, government, or for that matter, anybody telling me what to do. So that's traits I think I picked up by growing up in Nevada, but
Sure.
those are my general views on things.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think our state's starting to head in another direction. So we'll find out in the November cycle. But even when the Republicans had the majority, it definitely didn't, the votes weren't Republican.
That's true.
Yeah.
We could talk about politics all day.
Yeah.
I have on many occasions.
Sure. So Craig, how did you get involved with the Real Chamber of Commerce?
As a limited government conservative and a person who believes that Nevada needs to be the least taxed and least regulated state in the country,
Sure.
I was appalled when the Chamber of Commerce,
Metro Chamber?
the Metro Chamber of Commerce, backed a huge tax increase.
Yeah.
And they backed a huge tax increase to subsidize the most failed institution in the state, which is the Clark County School District.
Sure.
And now that I've been in front of the school board on a couple matters, I'm just appalled by that institution. It just needs to be abolished. I mean, we would be better off with no school district than the Clark County School District.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you coming on. So why don't you tell me, if people want to get in contact with you and want to know a little bit more about your business or want to use your services, how can they reach you?
Certainly. My name is Craig Mueller. My phone number is 702-382-1200. We have craigmueller.com is the law website. Also, we have the address is 600 South 8th Street. We have to be close to the courthouse because I literally spend more time in the courthouse than I do in my bed. That's how often I go to court.
I understand that. We do the same at Real Water.
So, yes, please give me a call if there's anything I can do to help you. No case is too big or too small.
Okay, great. Thanks. It was good to have you on.
All right, thank you.
This is Aimee Jones with the Real Chamber of Commerce.
She is the most fascinating woman in the world. In her presence, wild animals display intelligent talents. Elvis impersonators impersonate her. The king of the jungle bows at her feet.
I always drink water, and when I do, I fancy real water.
Stay hydrated, my friends.